So it is now May, which means 2K is already talking about 2K20. And it also means 2K19 has been out for 8 months, which has gone by super fast. And even though we're still banging out videos and streams on 2K19, I'm actually playing the game this year. Since 2K is working on 2K20, I thought it'd be the perfect time to make a video talking about literally everything I want to see in 2K20. I guess you could call it my 2K20 wish list. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Last year's wish list was pretty long. Literally my longest video I've ever made. I mean, it makes sense. 2K18 was literally the worst 2K of all time. But make sure you guys drop a like down below. This took a long time for me to make. Let's try to hit 3,000 likes. Also, let me know in the comments if there was one thing you could choose to be in 2K20. What would it be? Let's get right into it. First off, I want to honestly say 2K20 is already looking pretty good. Like, they've been actually asking questions to the community, talking to content creators. They've been showing mocaps. Like, hopefully someone from 2K is watching this. This point in the year in previous games, I don't remember it being like this. I remember it being like August and we'd know absolutely nothing about the game. I want to say 2K19 is still a good game. It could have been the best 2K of all time, but you know, even with the game we have now, it's still a good game. You know, I'm still playing it every day. Way better than 2K18. That game literally caused depression. First, let's start off with the player system, making your my player. You guys don't know, the biggest thing I want in 2K20 in terms of that is for them to take out archetypes completely. Go back to either how 2K16 was with, you know, the different scoring styles, inside, outside, and balance, or 2K15 where you just make your player and however you upgrade him is however he becomes. Archetypes restrict so much who I can play with. There's so many people I can't play with because they don't have the right archetype combination. Because the number one factor of you winning in 2K19 is not how good you are, it's how good your lineup is, how good your archetype combination is. Just overall, having no archetypes improves the gameplay way higher. Like, the reason why 2K16 gameplay was so good was because of the player system. There was no archetypes. Like, I've never seen a community so divided until this year. Everybody's like sorted into their own archetype, into different groups, and everybody just wants their player to be more overpowered, so they just tell 2K to do whatever's best for their player, not what's best for the game, and then the game just gets all out of whack and out of balance, and you guys all know how that goes. They've changed the game so much this year, and with archetypes, no matter what, nobody will be satisfied because everybody just wants their one build to be super overpowered and everybody else's builds just to be complete trash. Another little thing, I don't know why 2K did this year, but wingspan should not reduce your ball control. I should not have to have little T-Rex arms on my 6'5" guard just to be able to speed boost. In 2K18, you can make a 6'7" play sharp with max wingspan and be able to speed boost. This year, you have to make like a 6'5" or 6'6" with minimum wingspan. And then people wonder why 3 centers works. The only thing I don't like about the 2K16 player system is grinding badges in my career. I mean, let's be honest, nobody wants to play robots for badges. No, that's one of the only things I like about this new system. So you should still be able to grind your badges in Park. There shouldn't be badges specific to your archetype because there will be no archetypes. You can just get any badge you want. Maybe not so overpowered as like all the Hall of Fame badges, but I think the badges should be a lot easier to grind for. Like, I would have made so many more builds this year if I did not have to grind the badges. Next, I think they should add Park badges back. I like the idea of having badges exclusive to Park, like Streak Breaker, Legend Takeover, all those badges from 2K17. They're not really specific to your player, they're just specific to things that you can only really do in the Park. I definitely like that. The next thing I really want them to do, but I feel like it's going to be one of the least likely things that they actually end up doing on this list, and that is to tone it down with the VC. Let's just think of how 2K19 went. Okay, so to get the game when everybody else got it, not like 4 or 5 days later, you had to buy the $100 version of the game. So you spend $100 on the game, it comes with 100,000 VC. Then just to get your player to like an 86 or 87, because that's probably where you'll be after you finish the prelude and maybe a couple My Career games, and then also buy the animation, some clothes, stuff like that, you're probably gonna have to buy an additional 200,000 VC. You'll probably have some left over, but that's $150 just to get started. Your player still doesn't have any badges, you don't have any boosts, you don't have any Gatorade boosts. Like, that is a lot of money, and I feel like it draws a lot of people away. Like, literally less than 3 years ago in 2K16, they made the whole game free. So that's just a huge difference since then. I hope they tone it down a little bit just so you draw a lot more people into the game. And then the last feature with the player system, I think there should be a way to try out new players. Like, just to see if you like a player, and that's just hoping it doesn't get patched, you have to make the player build, spend $50 on VC just to get him to an 85, and then spend countless hours grinding the badges, and then you can determine if that build is good. And with the way 2K works, I don't think they can just change the whole system that has to do with that. So I think there should be like an event or just some way that you can try out players with the max badges with at least like an 85 overall to see if you like it. But that's pretty much it for the player system. You guys all know the main thing I just want is no archetypes. Now on to the rep system. Now 2K19's rep system, we all loved it, man. Road to 99. No, Road to 99 was honestly a disappointment. I wish they just left that in 2K18 because it was a bad idea, especially to bring back to a game that had so much potential. There are a lot of things wrong with the system. One, it rewards you for playing My Career. Now, this is the second year in a row that the top rep by a huge margin, like it takes more than twice as long to hit 99 playing Park than does My Career. That was a huge problem with Road to 99. The top rep just playing robots and probably not even being that good at the game. The second problem is that it restricts you even more just to one player. So every single rep reward you get in the game is only on the one player you hit it on, plus of course the overall. So that just adds another thing that encourages people to not make more players. It restricts you just to one player. Forget the Elite 3 thing, you know, someone hit that in 8 days. Like, that's not rep. Go back to that 2K17 style rep system. If you play 2K17, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you can change the name of the reps, but there's like, you know, Rookie, Pro, All-Star, Superstar, and then the Legend was the super, like, top one. Only a few people hit that. The top rep shouldn't hit the highest rep in like 6 weeks. It should take 3, 4, 5 months like it did in 2K17. There's 5 tiers for each one, you know, except Legend, because Legend was the last one. You had all these different rep rewards that you got for it, and then just bring back our favorite rep rewards. Bring back the jetpack, the tiger, mascots, of course. Don't make them midgets this time. I like the idea of the 99 badge. I mean, it could just be a Legend badge that boosts all your badges. The rebirth is one of my favorite rep rewards. I definitely think we should bring that back. And then surprise us, you know, surprise us with a crazy rep reward that we've never seen, like how the tigers and jetpacks were, because that was like the prime of 2K back then. You know, when the person hit the final top rep, you got surprised with like whatever they got. I know everybody wants that back in 2K. And then also, can the rep rewards actually work in the park? Like, the hoverboard is pointless this year because it only works in the neighborhood. You can't even ride around in the park with it. I feel like with the player and rep system from this year, 2K's gotten to the point where you have to invest way too much time and money into just one player. If you include, you know, all the rep rewards only being on one player, all the clothes, all the animations, all that stuff only being on one player, all the badges that you have to grind, all those hours putting in to just one player. No other game is like that. I feel like that's gotten way too far. And then what that does is actually ruin the gameplay, because all these people that you're asking, what should we change about the gameplay? Of course, they're going to be super biased towards their one player that they put countless dollars and hours into. But if they didn't have to put that much time and money into the player, they might be rational enough to say, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't be making smothered layups all the time, or whatever the problems in 2K20 end up being, because no matter what, the game's not going to come out perfect. But that's pretty much it for the park and rep system. These are probably one of the biggest 2 requests just from the community in general. No archetypes, back to the 2K17 rep system. And now we get into the actual park. In addition to those 2, one of the biggest requests from the community in general is just to go back to the 3 parks with the affiliations, just like how 15, 16, and 17 was. And 2K, I know they still like that neighborhood. It was executed terribly in 2K18, pretty good in 2K19, but it still had its problems. But I think there's a way to make it work to have the best of both worlds with the neighborhood and the park. So here's how it would work. Basically, you have the neighborhood, right? That's where you first load into, and that's like the hub for everything. You have all of the stores, you have the practice facility, Gatorade facility, boost, all of that stuff, right? All the stores. And you also have the sort of portals to 3 different parks with 3 new affiliations. And then of course you have the stage. If you want to add cages back, you have the cages as well. Also the rec center, prime arena, stuff like that. And that's where you would load into if you were like just playing My Career. You could also choose to load directly into your park depending on what affiliation you were in. But what that does is that you still have the whole neighborhood element. You still have the 3 parks with the affiliations that people want. And also it adds way more functionality. One of the biggest problems with not getting games, which is a huge problem, I'll get more into that. But since the neighborhood and park are in the same server, half of the whole park at this point is just people playing My Career, which just takes up space and makes it a lot harder for people to get games. You're not just stuck with one park, even though the one park this year was changing. I think that's honestly the best way to do the parks next year. Hopefully they do something like this. I think it gives everybody pretty much what they want. But then there's other features they can add to the parks. So first, there's some things you gotta fix. They have to fix the joining. No other game takes 10 times just to join somebody's park. They have to fix that. I don't even know how that's a problem still. We've got to be able to see our own win streak, and we have to be able to use whatever subway or whatever travel thing it is, or whatever how that works, because that's also broken in 2K19. All right, next, we've got to fix the problem of not getting games. This was probably one of the biggest problems with 2K19, because literally all of these problems can get solved, but if you can't play the actual game because you don't get games, it doesn't matter, right? And there's 2 reasons why this was such a big problem in 2K19 and not really in any other 2Ks. The first was the rep system with the Elite 3 stuff. That is very heavily based on your record. Just by looking at your rep, not even taking any effort to look at your record, somebody already knows that you're good at the game and they're just gonna get scared and hop off. The second problem is that it's not fun to lose in this game because of all the archetypes, all the toxic lineups. Like this year more than ever, there's been more of these toxic lineups, more people running, like, just, I'm not gonna even talk about that. But in that sense, I do kind of understand why these amateurs and stuff hop off. So with the 2K17 rep system, with the no archetype stuff, that helps some of it, but also just having dedicated parks, not having people just playing My Career in there and just loading more people into them will help a lot with that. And honestly, that should be enough just to fix the whole getting games problem. All right, next, all the parks now have, you know, 2s and 3s, but I think they should add a 1v1 court to the park, just to the regular park, not in the stage, and then maybe like a 4s court or even a 5s court. And of course, they can be mixed if there's 3 different parks. Also, I don't think the park should have, you know, the boost to go with them. Like for example, in 2K17, if you wanted to be able to speed boost with a sharpshooter, you literally had to be in Sunset Beach. I don't think that should be in it. Stage 24/7, just like this year. The rec center, if the whole getting games thing does work, and of course that defeats the need for a 5v5 court in any of the parks. Honestly, one of my favorite features that not a lot of people use is the crew feature in 2K19, where you can make a crew, you can like invite your friends to it. There's a crew leaderboard. That's fun for me. It gives me a challenge. You know, you play a lot more tryhards in the actual park because, you know, they want to ruin your 90 whatever win percentage. Like, it's fun. It's not like stage where I'm gonna play 3 centers every game and then get delayed after 30 minutes. Like, I just can't stream that for hours. But I definitely want them to bring the crew feature back. And then the last thing I want them to bring back in terms of the park is just the spin the wheel thing. I think that was a great idea, especially with the VIP wheel thing and then the bonus, unlimited boosts, all of this different stuff. It gets people on the game. Like, you might not play 2K every day, but it gives you something to do on the game every day. The one thing I want to change with it though is that I don't think it should be a 24-hour period before you spin the wheel. I think you should just be able to spin it once every day. So if I spin it at 4 p.m. today, I shouldn't have to wait till 4 p.m. the next day to spin it. I should be able to spin it at like 8 a.m. if I wanted to, and then the next day after that I can spin it at any time. That's pretty much it for the park. I think that's definitely how the park system should work. But now we get into the content, all the content they put into the game, into the parks, into all the other stuff. 2K19 of course was a huge step up in terms of the content, but if MyPark is the most played game mode, they definitely need to keep that content up throughout the whole year. Like, the content stopped I think late November this year, in terms of like we didn't get any more new park events from that point. That should go on throughout the whole year, at least up to like the NBA season is over. I think you could actually have 3 park events going at once, potentially, not always, but say it's like Park After Dark running in one park, and then also, I don't know, Mini Madness in the other park. With 3 parks, you could have potentially 3 park events going on at the same time. I think there should always be a park event somewhere in some park. But with those park events, like, you already know the biggest problem: delaying. The park events were great this year. There was like 20 different ones, but all of them were ruined by delaying. At this point, every park event is just about, oh, who's holding servers here, or who's getting a top crew invite here. Like, the park events are completely broken and ruined by the whole delaying problem. Everybody delays, nobody gets banned. More and more people delay because they know they're not going to get banned. People start holding servers, DDoSing the 2K servers. Like, they need to actually pay attention to the community, ban people that delay and hold servers and all of this stuff before it gets even close to the way it was this year. Also, boosting. Like, at this point of the year, who wins a park event by doing anything legit? You just delay, boost, or hold servers. So 2K, please fix the 12-year-olds DDoSing your servers. That'd be greatly appreciated. Next thing in terms of content, they need to bring back the whole leaderboard system, just like 2K16. That was the best leaderboard system with all the top reps. As you were loading into the park, it showed, you know, the top 3 reps for whatever affiliation that was, plus like the top leader in points, blocks, assists, whatever it was. I love that leaderboard system. I definitely think they should bring that back, because this year, especially with just the My Career stuff, like, nobody knew who J.R. Wang was until he hit 99, and he only had like 200 viewers when he hit it, because nobody knew who actually was at the top. And I think they could expand that even more. You know how in 2K17 it had the rank in MyPark? They should definitely bring that back. They should just have a whole leaderboard, like 100+ people. You should be able to see where you are compared to your friends. They can expand upon the leaderboard system a ton. I think it'll get people playing more. Okay, now this has been a problem with 2K for like the past, I mean, just since Park has been out. It's all of the glitches. One of the biggest weaknesses with 2K, and they've gotten a lot better at this now, is just to pay attention to what's going on to the game and what's been going on with the community. For example, it took like 6-7 months for them to just patch pushing. I mean, I guess they knew that was in the game when they made it, but also there's so many glitches in 2K every year. So many VC glitches, badge glitch, mascot glitch, like just every year, animation glitch. I can just name so many. And a lot of these glitches get to the point to where 2K doesn't realize soon enough that they're in the game. A ton of people do them. They can't ban everybody, and then it's not fair to the people who actually wanted to follow the rules and not do the glitch. I think they just need to be more on top of things like that just throughout the whole year, especially like in the beginning of the year when it first came out. What they actually did in 2K16 is if there was a huge glitch and everybody was doing it, if you didn't do it, I mean, they can't ban everybody, so they would just give a rep boost to the people who didn't do it. I think that was a great idea. They should bring that back as well. So if they fix the whole delaying part, I think they should do park tournaments. That'd be really cool. They could have a community set up to do stuff like that with my team. That'd be really fun to do in the park with a bunch of YouTubers. They did something similar like that, not really a tournament style, but with just a bunch of YouTubers this year, and then sometimes they have NBA players playing in it. I think they should expand upon that. I would have done like a whole community tournament this year if it wouldn't just get ruined by delaying. Small but cool feature, double VC weekends. You know, we have double rep. Why not have a double VC weekend? I like the way they had the content roll out for the close, you know, periodic drops, you know, limited time, but don't make them sell out. You know, just take that out. That's just not good. You can make the argument, oh, it's realistic, but if 2K was really realistic, it wouldn't be fun, let's be honest. Also, they've got to tone down the VC on some of those clothes too. Like, a do-rag in the game is more expensive in the game than it is in real life. Some of the jerseys in the game are like 30 to 50,000 VC. 2K, I know you might not want to tone down the VC for the players, but at least for the clothes, like the jerseys and stuff, way too expensive. And then, like I said before, when you buy clothes on one player, it should just transfer to all your other players. Okay, next couple things, patches. This year we got like 10, 11 patches. I don't even know how many, and there's still so many problems in the game. I think we need fewer patches, more fixes. And Mike Wayne, we know you patch things without telling us. Just tell us, just tweet it, or just put it in the patch notes. Or sometimes they put things in the patch notes that they say they patched, and then it's still broken. And then finally, what they could do is put a DLC. Now, I don't know if I'm stretching it too much here, but if they had like a DLC with like 2-3 new parks, or just something new that they released like, I don't know, halfway through the year, not only could they make a lot of money doing that, I know 2K likes money, but that would definitely keep the game fresh. You know, it would have people playing. It would be a ton of new content midway through the year. And the only thing like that they've done before is like for the winners of the rival day. Obviously, they should bring rival day back for the affiliations, but just the winners of that will get a new park about halfway through the year. They could just do the same kind of thing, but with DLC. So we got the player system, we've got the rep system, we've got the parks, the content, pretty much everything, but we don't have the gameplay. That is the last part of this video. To be honest, just taking out archetypes and having something like a 2K16 player system fixes the majority of the gameplay issues. And on top of that, in terms of shots going in, it should go from openness to timing to attributes, meaning openness matters the most, then your shot timing, then attributes. I know a lot of the community agrees with that. Pretty simple. Also, I think they should add better defense and a better contest system, just like 2K16. I'm just going back to 2K16 mainly because there was no archetypes, but everybody in that game could play defense and nobody made a ton of contested shots. Honestly, the whole topic of a shot contest system wasn't even talked about until this year because they changed it so much and this year's was so bad. Bigs should not be better at dribbling than guards. Literally, a stretch big without takeover gets ripped less than a playmaker with takeover. Point guards should be getting ripped significantly less than centers. It's just that simple. No more L2 trees. You guys all know when somebody, you know, posts up and then they just glitch behind them, you get stuck. They've got to take that out next year. Also, increase the stamina. Like, I spend over 1,000 VC on the 3 Gatorade boosts every single game on my play shark with 92 ball control, yet after 4 dribble moves, he literally needs a lung transplant. Like, it's almost as if every single my player has asthma. You should not be getting tired playing a park game. They've got to fix this next year. Just increase the stamina. Also, the layups, like, I shouldn't be missing open layups on any player, especially if they're timed correctly. And then there's too many heavily and smothered layups. And then finally, I don't know why there's so much inconsistent delay when you play. They should add a ping number. That'd be cool. Or just fix the delay. Obviously, fix the bump steals. I ran about this. And then finally, some bonus features. Bigger my courts. Obviously, they're way too small. Changing your jump shot in the my court and in the stage, you can't do that. And then creator codes. Fortnite has this. They definitely need to add this. It'll help support the creators. It's awesome. And then finally, a theater mode. Now, I don't know if this will work for everybody because of server space, but maybe just for content creators, it'll be just like instant replay, but in the park. There's so many videos you can do with this, just so much creativity. So I hope they add something like that again in Fortnite. But that is everything I want to see in NBA 2K20. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hey, did I mention the one thing you said you wanted in 2K20? Let me know in the comments. And also make sure you drop a like. We're going for 3,000 likes. Go watch some more videos. They're going to be in the outro. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.